How's it going? This is Jones with One Stop Mouse, and it is September 2nd at 2 minutes to 6. I have been doing a lot of hurricane prep and updating around my home. I live right near Walt Disney World, and Hurricane Dorian is right on our doorstep, right on the coast of Florida. And so that is going to affect the park to some degree as well. If you've been watching, and a lot of you I'm sure have been watching regardless of where you are, this humongous, super powerful hurricane has gone over the Bahamas, demolished the Bahamas, and now is sitting there practically still, going like 1 mile an hour westwards towards the United States and Florida. And a lot of the models show it making a turn and going up the coast, but getting precariously close to the coast of Florida. But it's a really scary situation, and they're not sure what it's going to do. Disney World is actually such a safe place that a lot of people in the state of Florida, when the you-know-what hits the fan, they literally go to Walt Disney World Resort to take shelter. Disney World has much higher building standards, all kinds of safety procedures. They're a really great place to go. And they bend their rules a little bit a lot of times too. Like during Irma last year, I know they let locals in even with their animals. So if you are a local and you want to go someplace safe and you don't have a shelter near you, or you don't want to go to a shelter, you could find out if there are rooms still available at Walt Disney World. If you're in the middle of a trip, I don't know if Dole Whip Dad, are you still here or did you go home? If you're anybody like that who's in the middle of your trip and you haven't been able to fly out or anything, that is some consolation. Also, Disney makes the rules, basically. So they can do whatever they have to do because they are looking out for your safety, which means they can change the park hours at a moment's notice. They can just shorten them and say, hey, you got to get out of the park. If you're at a resort, they can have curfew hours. So you're going to have to roll with the punches as you go through this because if you've been watching the Weather Channel, it's a very inexact science, and they don't know what the storm is going to do, and Disney is depending on that information. So if all of a sudden it plows into Florida and isn't going up the coast, they're just going to do the best that they can. So that was the speech about bearing with that. Right now, though, actually, if you were to go over to Disney, this is 6 o'clock on the 2nd, Monday. There's like nobody there, and the parks are open. So if you are not doing hurricane prep and you are a local, or you are somebody here who's stuck here, you could be riding a lot of rides and doing a lot of things that you couldn't usually do as easily otherwise, shorter lines. So there's sort of like a silver lining to that. The Food and Wine Festival has started. It started on the same day that Galaxy's Edge opened up, which was on the 29th of August. And that's going to go all the way until the 23rd of November. Illuminations, Reflections of Earth, the very famous 20-year running fireworks show at Epcot, is going to go for one more month until September 30th. And then they're going to pull the plug on it, and they're going to start a whole new show. This is the longest running Epcot Food and Wine Festival ever, a 3-month thing. So that's going to go for 3 months from August 29th to November 23rd. And then so illuminations will be going on for that first month of the Food and Wine Festival. We did a 8-hour live stream, longest live stream I ever did, at Galaxy's Edge for the day that it opened to the general public this past Thursday. And so take a look at that. And on the Galaxy's Edge front, also, I did a very fun video. Take a look at it. It's on our channel. It's called A Wookiee's Guide to Galaxy's Edge. It's real fun. It's short, and it's sort of a different take on things. One thing did come up, though. There's not a lot of shade or places to sit down other than just a few places like Ronto Roasters and Docking Bay 7. And if you're into Oga's Cantina, it reminded me very much of that situation with lack of shade and lack of seating that they've improved somewhat over at Toy Story Land. But if you take a look, if you zip through that at all, don't have to watch the whole 8 hours, but you'll notice that I'm actually sitting on the ground sometimes, like, in shaded areas up against the wall to Droid Depot or something, just to rest for a minute, have a snack, have some water. So Disney, please give us some more shade, give us some more seating areas. I noticed that you're still adding extra seating and extra shade to Toy Story Land. I saw a vlogger was saying something about that just this morning. So I hope that they get clued in on that. Otherwise, I had a profoundly great time, an amazing time at Galaxy's Edge. Early that morning, 3:30 in the morning, I got there, and there's a gazillion other people all lined up like a stampede and crushing each other, and they were all deliriously happy about it. The electricity was, tangible. And then they actually opened the park. Instead of at 6 a.m., they opened it at 5 a.m. Very, very cool. I enjoyed that a lot. Another party is the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. And I've mentioned this a few times. I wanted to basically go to the Halloween party and go in my Indiana Jones getup with the leather jacket and everything. I am not sure about that because I almost had heat exhaustion last time doing that. I might still do that, but I'm not going to live stream that. I'll vlog that and I'll show that to you, and I'll show you honestly and in detail and everything. But I'm also going to have a B-plan sort of costume maybe. My wife basically just thinks I'm nuts and is like, why don't we just wear our matching Halloween t-shirts from last year? I guess we'll have to see. But if you're going to the Halloween party, you can check out the Halloween party video we have here, or at least take this from me right now, nice and succinct. It's going to be hot. September, October, down here, okay, it might not be 101 degrees, but it might be 95 degrees or 90 degrees with super high humidity. Make yourself comfortable. Jedi wool robes, a leather jacket. If you take a look at some of the pictures of me with that leather jacket, I'm sweating through it. Make yourself comfortable. Oh, sorry about that. I met the famous piano lady after I haven't seen her for like 5 years at Epcot's UK Pavilion. They've got... in the World Showcase, they've got a pub called the Rose and Crown. And this famous lady basically has been playing piano there for years. She used to be called the Hat Lady, and you might know her as that because she had a rack behind her of all sorts of hats with feathers in them and everything, these elaborate hats, and she used to wear those. And she doesn't do that anymore, so now she's the Piano Lady. But her name is Carol. She is very, very fun. And we have a little interview and a thing that we do on the end of a lot of our videos where we have people say, see you real soon. By the way, when you see our videos, and at the very end, I always say, subscribe to us and come back and see us. And you'll see somebody. It's usually the cheeriest cast member that we have seen on that day when I'm walking around. Whether I'm planning it or not, I'll pull up my phone and I'll just get them to wave and say, see you real soon. we're the most interesting. And it's sort of our personal tribute to Disney's cast members, which are the foundation of why Disney is so great. They have wonderful, wonderful people. And that's really about it. Do yourself a favor and call Disney and check on their hurricane policies. Keep your eyes and ears open to what they're going to do or what they're not going to do for the hurricane. And I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but my nervous beagle is barking right outside of this door right now because there are some outer bands of the hurricane coming in and he hates thunder. But I was actually cutting a video to put on right now, but I wouldn't have made it in time because too much hurricane stuff has been going on. Is anybody out there that is hearing this right now? And you have any questions or anything? Let me know. I don't see anything. But we are live right now at 6:10 p.m. on Monday, September 2nd. And Hurricane Dorian is at our doorstep. If you are a local Floridian, please stay tuned to the news and don't underestimate the fact that it's supposed to, it's going to make a perfect turn and not touch us because they are not quite sure about that. And that could really affect what goes on at the park too. Disney is very safe and they are very conservative with what they do though, and they have a great track record for how they've handled storms in the past. And they have their own, they even have they're like their own city and they have their own power grid. So a lot of times when the electricity is out everywhere else, they've got power, they've got juice. Anyhow, that's really it. That's the update from Jones and One Stop Mouse. And we will be back to see you next Monday, at least, maybe even before that, and give you an update as to what happened here at Studio One, where I am in my house, and what happened at the park. Prayers for everybody's safety, please. And being that I'm live and I can't cut it in, I'll just do it myself. See you real soon.